If you would have asked 5-year-old me what she wanted to do for the rest of her life, she would have told you she wanted to be a firefighter. Silly, I know. I'm not sure what it was about being a firefighter that was so intriguing to little 5-year-old me. Maybe it was the fact that you could climb tall buildings and use those giant water hoses, or save people and be considered a hero daily. Either way, once I realized there's more to the job than just those little things, I quickly dropped the idea. Now I'm 18, and although I definitely do not want to be a firefighter anymore, I do still want to help people. Today, I have the dream of becoming a child and adolescent psychiatrist, and that wouldn't have happened without the past events of the last 2 years. I'm going to start this speech at sophomore year. Like everyone else, I had little to no idea what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I kept going through careers left and right, and the best way I can describe it is like one of those superhero montages in the movies, where they go through suit after suit, and yet none of them seem to fit. That was me with careers. I seemed to go through careers left and right. Every single one that was dropped on my doorstep, I took the chance at, and none of them seemed to fit. It started to feel like I had no purpose after high school, and that sucked. Now for the next part of my speech, I'm going to introduce it with a quote. Sometimes you have to go through darkness to reach the light. Cheesy, but it makes sense in a second. Sophomore year started out normally for me, but I left a completely different person with a whole different outlook on the world. Throughout sophomore year, I went through some traumatic events that left me with post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and social anxiety. It was at this point when I was at my worst. I cut off all my friends, dropped out of all my activities, and missed months and months of school. I was sat down by doctors, family, and friends and told at the age of 16 that this was going to be one of the hardest experiences I deal with in my lifetime. After about a year of cutting everything off, I started to seek help from a psychiatrist and a therapist. It quickly occurred to me that I had interest in psychology, and I started to open my mind to a possible career down that path. After some research, I realized that I was really interested in the topic of psychiatry, and I made the rational decision then and there that I was going to go into psychiatry when I was older. That was the first time in months when I felt content in the decision I made. Fast forward to senior year. Now I am currently taking psychology courses over at Ridgewater, and I absolutely love them. Also, I'm looking into schools. The first school that pops up for me right away is the U of M, because it's labeled the best psychiatry school in Minnesota. Although I love the U of M and I'm a huge Gopher fan, it didn't feel right. With the events of the past 2 years, I didn't think me moving from a small town to the cities would be a good idea, so I started to look for more smaller schools. I applied left and right, but none of them seemed to fit. I was starting to feel anxious and feel like there wasn't a place for me after school. Then one night when I was doing homework, I got a text from a friend saying, "Hey, I just visited Winona State University, and I know this may sound weird, but I could totally visualize you going there. I think you'd really, really like it." Confused, I dropped everything and started looking into the school, and I figured out exactly what she meant very quickly. The school was exactly what I was looking for. It was the perfect combination between nature and city. It wasn't too big, it wasn't too small, and the programs really, really caught my eye. The theater program, the 7 to 9 productions per year, which for me is double the amount I normally do. And then the film production, if I get to be a part of that department, I could possibly go and visit the country's biggest film festival in Colorado for class. It was at this point when I knew that this was the right path for me, and I committed myself to being a warrior. Through trauma, I made some life-changing decisions. It's crazy how I found so much good in such a bad situation. And this is when I was at my best.